Alright, so on part two of false love versus true love. And now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna take it back to the beginning. It's an age old story. Do wrong, try to hide it, find a scapegoat, lie, keep trying to lie. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 3. Alright, let's read it. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Elohim said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. There you go, lying already. For Elohim doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, as mighty ones as Elohim, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And they heard the voice of Yahweh Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. And Yahweh Elohim called unto Adam, and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree, whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldst not eat? And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And Yahweh Elohim said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh Elohim make coats of skins, and clothed them. And Yahweh Elohim said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore Yahweh Elohim sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground, from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way, to guard the way of the tree of life. Hallelujah. I'm going to go to the book of the first book of Adam and Eve. I'm sorry, and this is part of when it's telling a tale of when Adam and Eve's life after they were kicked out of the garden. And Adam and Eve actually became very strong in the Father, because after they did that, they really showed true repentance. They really did. They kept praying and fasting for a lot of days and were really seeking to know Him, because they were like children, so they were pretty much afraid of everything, and so they had to ask the Father for everything. And this is also why we are to be like children, and we'll be able to recognize that He is indeed our everything. But of course, after they pretty much lost everything because they were kicked out of the garden, because the Father had pretty much given them everything into their hands, and were really repentant about it, and a lot of things changed about them. So we're going to go to the first book of Adam and Eve. And we're going to go to chapter 45. Yes, chapter 45. And the heading for it is why Satan didn't fulfill his promises. Why you think? He hates you. He lies. He's the father of lies. He came to what? Kill, steal, and destroy. That's what he did. We read the story. We just read the story about it. We'll hear more about it right here. So first book of Adam and Eve, chapter 45. Then Adam rose and prayed unto Elohim, saying, See, this fire has made separation between us and the cave in which thou hast commanded us to dwell. It was the cave of treasures that they had to dwell in after they were kicked out of the garden. But now, behold, we cannot go into it. What made that so interesting about the cave of treasures? Real quick side note: went from a lot of light in paradise to a lot of dark. I mean, it was almost like complete darkness, almost like outer darkness, almost like going from paradise, heaven to hell. But the Father was still with him, and He was saying His word. And so it wasn't actually hell, which is eternal separation from the Most High, the lake of fire and everything like that. So let's continue. Then Elohim heard Adam and sent His word that said, O Adam, see this fire? How different the flame and heat thereof are from the garden of delights and the good things in it. When thou wast under my control, all creatures yielded to thee. But after thou hast transgressed my commandment, they all rise over thee. We see it as now how animals still be just attacking people and still be wanting to eat them. Right. Again said Elohim unto him, See, O Adam, how Satan has exalted thee. He has deprived thee of the Godhead, and of an exalted state like unto me, and has not kept his word to thee, but, after all, is become thy foe. It is he who made this fire in which he meant to burn thee and Eve. Why, O Adam, has he not kept his agreement with thee, not even one day, but has deprived thee of the glory that was on thee, when thou didst yield to his command? Thinkest thou, Adam, that he loved thee when he made his agreement with thee? Or that he loved thee and wished to raise thee on high? But no, Adam, he did not do all that out of love to thee, but he wished to make thee come out of light into darkness, and from an exalted state to degradation, from glory to abasement, from joy to sorrow, and from rest to fasting and fainting. Wow. Elohim also said unto Adam, See this fire kindled by Satan around thy cave? See this wonder that surrounds thee, and know that what encompass about both thee and thy seed when ye hearken to his behest, that he will plague you with fire, and that ye shall go down into hell after ye are dead. Then shall ye see the burning of his fire that will thus be burning around you and your seed. There shall be no deliverance from it for you, but at my coming. In like manner as thou canst not now go into thy cave by reason of the great fire around it, not until my word shall come that will make a way from thee on the day my covenant is fulfilled. There is no way for thee at present to come from hence to rest, not until my word comes, who is my word. Then will he make a way for thee, and thou shalt have rest. Then Elohim called with his word to that fire that burned around the cave, that it part itself asunder until Adam had gone through it. Then the fire parted itself by Elohim's order, and a way was made for Adam. And Elohim withdrew his word from Adam. Oh man. And let's go back a little bit here. Let's go back. Cause right here the Father's still saying, why did you not listen to me? This is the love of Elohim. It's so interesting in this again. This is the love of him. He's talking about how many times he delivered. Listen to this. That Adam and Eve began again to come into the cave. And when they came to the way between the fire, Satan blew into the fire like a whirlwind, and made on Adam and Eve a burning coal fire, so that their bodies were seen. And the coal fire scorched them. And from the burning of the fire, Adam and Eve cried aloud and said, O Adonai, save us. Leave us not to be consumed and plagued by this burning fire. Neither require us for having transgressed thy commandment. Then Elohim looked upon their bodies on which Satan had caused fire to burn, and Elohim sent his malach, his angel, that stayed the burning fire, but the wounds remained on their bodies. And Elohim said unto Adam, see Satan's love for thee, who pretended to give thee the Godhead and greatness. And behold, he burns thee with fire, and seeks to destroy thee from off the earth. Then look at me, O Adam, I created thee. And how many times have I delivered thee out of his hand? If not, will he not have destroyed thee? Elohim said again to Eve, what is that he promised thee in the garden? Saying, at that time you shall eat of the tree, your eyes shall be opened. Your eyes will be opened, and you shall become like gods, knowing good and evil. But lo, he has burnt your bodies with fire, and has made you taste the taste of fire, for the taste of the garden, and has made you see the burning of fire, and the evil thereof, and the power it has over you. Your eyes have seen the good he has taken from you, and in truth, he has opened your eyes, and you have seen the garden, in which ye were with me, and ye have also seen the evil that has come upon you from Satan. That would be the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Yeah, so congratulations. Right, let's continue. But as to the Godhead, he cannot give it you, neither fulfill his speech to you. Nay, he was bitter against you and your seed that will come after you. And Elohim withdrew his word from them. All right, let's go. Now we're going to go to the next chapter after the chapter we just read, which was chapter 46. And we're going to go to chapter 47 real quick, and we're going to read verse 7 and 8. But Satan, the hater of all good, the hater of all good, the hater of all haters. Y'all be talking about y'all got haters. Nah, yeah, you got a hater, all right. It's the main hater right here. He hates you. Thought within himself, whereas Elohim has promised salvation to Adam by covenant, and that he would deliver him out of all the hardships that have befallen him, but has not promised me by covenant, and will not deliver me out of my hardships. Nay, since he has promised him that he should make him and his seed dwell in the kingdom in which I once was, I will kill Adam. What does he say he coming to? Kill, steal, and destroy. Verse 8. The earth shall be rid of him and shall be left to me alone, so that when he is dead he may not have any seed left to inherit the kingdom that shall remain my own realm. Elohim will then be in want of me, and he will restore me to it with my host. Wow, so all this is, he mad because he can't go back to the kingdom. He envious, he jealous, he mad. Yeah, he was also mighty close to the Most High. And when you rebel and jealousy like that, he couldn't let you get that close again, brother. To try that again. Oh no, you was too close, brother. The reason it says what it says in Hebrews, when you have tasted of the good and heavenly gift. I'm not that's for another that's for another time. that's for another time. We're gonna keep that in mind. It might be for pressing on toward the mark of the prize of the high calling. Does that mean the adversary definitely had a really high calling? Of course he did. He was over the music in heaven. That's why he tends to still use music. Oh man. The Father's saying it again about his true love and the false love, lies of the adversary. Watch what the Father does. This is beautiful. This is what the Father actually strips the adversary and shows them what the adversary really looks like and how he really lost his life. This is a beautiful thing about the Father. He loves us so much, He gonna show us. He will show us the truth. He will show us the truth. He will give us discernment. This is chapter 51. Check this. And the adversary still trying to take them out and kill them again. But check this. When Adam heard these words from Elohim, he took Eve and removed from the northern end of the garden to the south of it, by the river of water where they once fasted. But as they were going in the way, and before they reached that place, Satan, the wicked one, had heard the word of Elohim communing with Adam respecting his covering. So yes, he do be listening when the Mashiach, when Yeshua is speaking with us. Absolutely. It grieved him, and he hastened to a place where the sheepskins were, with the intention of taking them and throwing them into the sea, or of burning them with fire, that Adam and Eve should not find them. There he goes, stealing again. But as he was about to take them, the word of Elohim came from heaven and bound him by the side of those skins until Adam and Eve came near him. But as they neared him, they were afraid of him and of his hideous look. I tell you, if I gotta have a sense of humor, check this out. Then came the word of Elohim to Adam and Eve and said to them, "This is he who was hidden in the serpent, and who deceived you, and stripped you of the garment of light and glory in which you were. This is he who promised you majesty and divinity. Where then is the beauty that was on him? Where is his divinity? Where is his light? Where is the glory that rested on him? Now his figure is hideous. He has become abominable among angels, and he has come to be called Satan. O Adam, he wished to take from you this earthly garment of sheepskins and to destroy it, and not let you be covered with it. What then is his beauty that you should have followed him? And what have you gained by hearkening to him? See his evil works, and then look at me, your creator, and at the good deeds I do you. See, I bound him until you came and saw him and beheld his weakness, that no power is left with him." Hallelujah. Now let's check. There's another chapter where Adam actually asked him. Check this out. Where Adam actually asked him why he didn't do what he said he was going to do. Because he's a liar. The father's liar. You're talking to a liar. You're asking a liar to tell the truth. Come on. You're asking a liar to actually fulfill something he said he's going to do. Come on now. Check what Satan says. Then Satan said to Adam, do you think that when I have promised one something that I would actually deliver it to him or fulfill my word? Of course not. For I myself have never even thought of obtaining what I promised. Therefore I fell, and I made you fall by that for which I myself fell. And with you also, whosoever accepts my counsel falls thereby. But now, O Adam, because you fell, you are under my rule, and I am king over you. Because you have obeyed me and have transgressed against your Elohim, neither will there be any deliverance from my hands until the day promised you by your Elohim. Again he said, because we do not know the day agreed on with you by your Elohim, nor the hour in which you shall be delivered. For that reason we will multiply war and murder on you and your descendants after you. This is our will and our good pleasure, that we may not leave one of the sons of men to inherit our orders in heaven. Dang. So he knows we're actually going to inherit the place that they vacated in heaven. Remember, there were places that they had in heaven that they fell from, that they lost, that have to be filled in. There's spaces that have to be, there's spaces that were vacated that have to be filled in. And depending on what we do here, we could possibly be one of those that get to do that. So he wants to kill us so that we're not able to do that. Because since he can't go back there, he don't want nobody going. He want everybody to go to hell and the lake of fire with him. We don't got time for that. No, forget that. Eternal? Nah, that's way too long, bro. Because this life is 70, 80 years. Some years that we get sometimes seems long. That's forever. That never stops. That never stops. You ever think about that? It never stops. Like I said in the first discussion. The scariest part really is just being eternally separated from the Father, from the Most High. Once you experience that love that He gives, you don't want nothing else. There's no other love like it that can compare to it. When others lie, when others break promises, when others leave, He's always there. He's always there. That's why He had me write that poem about walk, because He is always there. He is the only one that is truly, consistently, always 100% consistent with you. He's consistent. And a lot of times when things tend to break down in our relationships with others, is because our relationship with Him may have broken down in some type of way. We may have put something beforehand. We may start to give Him less time. We may not do as we're supposed to be doing. We may not be doing anything with as much zeal as we once were when we first started. When you had what we would say is this called a honeymoon, if you want to call it that. For lack of a better term, but you have to continuously get filled up with the fire of the Most High. Continuously. You don't want you never want that light put out, and you never want that fire. The fire is supposed to ever be burning. As I said, the phrase is supposed to keep the fire burning. They're supposed to keep the fire of Elohim burning in our hearts. Never let that go. Never let it go. Hide the word in your heart so you may not sin against Him. Let Him write those heavenly tablets on your heart. Isn't that amazing? The Creator of the entire universe wants us to write His words on our heart. What? He wants to write our story? Similar to that book, The Never Ending Story? Yes, He wants to write our story. And it truly is a never ending story. It continues to go on. But that's in truth what the adversary wants to do. Like it says, we can break down those two parts where she went, about Eve, and he tested it with the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life. Pride of life, a tree to make one wise. The fruit started to look good to her, so it appealed to her flesh. The lust of the lust of the eyes, and appealed to her flesh. The lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, being wise. The pride of life, knowing all these other things, or being so-called gods, as he tried to say they were going to be, which was a lie. Now let's move on to another very well known story. So you see right here what's also interesting is that he be trying to take our coverings too. Women, the man is actually, the man's actually to be like your covering. So of course, the adversary is going to try to attack the family structure as he did with Adam and Eve, as he will right here as well, which is Genesis chapter 4, which is talking about Cain and Abel. And I'm talking really fast right now. Let me try to slow down. I apologize. So let me read this story really quick. Genesis chapter 4, verse 5. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. That's no doubt hate, as we discussed in the first discussion. If you hate, your brother, your neighbor, in your heart, you kill him. So Cain hated him in his heart first. He hated that Abel and his offering was accepted, and that he was not accepted. That's why I say, once we love the Father with our heart, mind, and strength, we'll know how to actually give that correct offering, as Abel did. It was in his heart to love the Father right. And so because it was, he knew how to give the offering correct. And so it could have been the same way for Cain. And even then, Cain could have repented or even asked Abel, how was it that you were able to, give the offering correct? He could have even did that, but instead he got mad and killed him. But like we say, no one gets away with anything. There are no secrets. We're going to go down right here. And when we go to Ephesians later on, we're going to see that. We're going to see that too. But right here is a witness to this. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Absolutely you are. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. That's false love, man. He killed him. That's false love. Killed his own brother. Isaiah, now we're going to go to Isaiah chapter 29, verse 13. The Father, like I said earlier, he wants us to definitely worship him in spirit and truth, absolutely. But he wants our hearts to be true when we're worshiping him. And we're going to see this in Isaiah 29, verse 13. Wherefore Yahweh said, Forasmuch as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precepts of men. Wow. Matthew chapter 15, verse 8. Now the Mashiach, I'm going to reiterate these words. He's the walking Torah. Here we go. Let's go on Matthew 15 and 7. And we'll read 15, 7 and 8. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And we'll go to verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. Of men. And that's going to flow into the next part. I'm going to say shalom.